Before Australia had its own money, people used all sorts of different coins. These came from other countries like Britain, Spain, and the Netherlands. It was very confusing. Imagine going to a shop and having to figure out how much a Spanish dollar was worth compared to a British shilling. This system was difficult for trade and daily life. In 1813, Governor Lachlan Macquarie tried to fix this by punching the middle out of Spanish dollars. This created two new coins, the Holy Dollar and the Dump. This was Australia's first attempt at making its own unique currency, but it was still a temporary solution. The need for a proper national currency was becoming more and more obvious as the country grew. Finally, in 1910, Australia started to make its own official coins. This was a very important moment in the nation's history. For the first time, Australians had money that was truly their own, showing they were becoming an independent country. The new coins had King Edward VII on one side. The other side had the Australian coat of arms. These first coins included silver florins, shillings, sixpences, and threepences. However, the bronze coins, the penny and the halfpenny, were not ready yet. People were excited to see what these new coins would look like and to finally have a simple and unified system for their money. The very first Australian penny was made in 1911. It was a big bronze coin that quickly became a part of everyday life. On one side was the new king, George V. On the other side, it simply said, "1 penny," inside a circle of beads, with the words, "Commonwealth of Australia," around the edge. These pennies were made at mints in London and later in India before production moved to Australia. Millions of these pennies were made each year. They were used to buy lollies, newspapers, and all sorts of small items. No one thought that one day, a penny from a specific year would become one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. For nearly 2 decades, the Australian penny was just a normal coin. The mints in Melbourne and Sydney produced millions of them to keep up with the country's needs. People carried them in their pockets and purses without a second thought. They were a symbol of the growing economy and a part of the fabric of Australian society. Children would save them in piggy banks, and they were used in vending machines and payphones. The penny was common, useful, and completely ordinary. But in 1930, something unexpected happened that would turn this humble coin into a legend and create a treasure that collectors would hunt for generations. The year 1930 was a very difficult time for Australia and the world. The Great Depression had begun, and it hit the economy hard. Many people lost their jobs, and businesses struggled to survive. Because money was so tight, people were not spending as much as they used to. This meant that there was less need for new coins to be put into circulation. The government already had a large supply of pennies from previous years stored in its vaults. So, in 1930, the Treasury Department in Australia decided not to order any new pennies from the Melbourne Mint. Officially, no pennies were supposed to be made that year. However, the story of the 1930 penny is a story of accident and mystery. Even though there was no official order, a very small number of pennies with the 1930 date were somehow created. We are not exactly sure why this happened. One popular theory is that the Melbourne Mint was testing new coin-making tools called dies. To make sure the dies were working correctly, they might have made a small test batch of pennies. Another idea is that a mint worker might have accidentally used the 1930 dies to make a few coins. Whatever the reason, these coins were never meant to be released to the public. The number of 1930 pennies that were accidentally made is thought to be very small. Most experts believe that only about 3,000 of these coins were ever produced. Compare that to the millions of pennies that were made in other years, and you can see why it is so rare. For example, in 1929, the year before, over 2 million pennies were made. The few 1930 pennies that were created were likely mixed in with pennies from other years and sent to banks without anyone noticing. They were not special at the time, they were just mistakes that slipped through the cracks. For many years, these rare pennies circulated just like any other coin. They were passed from hand to hand, used to buy goods and stored in jars and tins. No one knew they were holding a future treasure. The coins were just one of the millions of pennies in circulation across the country. It was only by pure chance that this small batch of coins, born from an economic crisis and a possible minting error, survived. Their journey from the mint into the pockets of ordinary Australians is what makes their story so fascinating and sets the stage for their later discovery as the king of Australian coins. For more than a decade after they were made, nobody knew the 1930 penny was special. It was just another coin. But in the 1940s, coin collectors started to notice something strange. As they tried to complete their sets of Australian pennies, with one for every year, they could not find a penny from 1930. They checked their collections, asked other collectors, and searched through thousands of coins. The 1930 penny was missing. This created a buzz in the small community of coin collectors. Was there even such a thing as a 1930 penny? Or did the mint truly not make any that year, as the official record suggested? The mystery began to unravel in the mid-1940s. A few dedicated collectors finally found some pennies with the 1930 date. These discoveries were incredibly exciting. It was like finding a hidden treasure. The news spread quickly through collector magazines and newsletters. Suddenly, everyone wanted to find one. The hunt for the 1930 penny began. People all over Australia started checking their change, searching through old money boxes, and looking in drawers for this now famous coin. The legend of the 1930 penny was born, turning it from a simple piece of copper into a celebrated rarity almost overnight. The coin became famous among the general public in the 1950s and 60s. Newspapers and magazines started writing articles about the king of Australian coins. They told stories of lucky people finding a 1930 penny in their pocket change and selling it for a large sum of money. This made the coin a household name. It was no longer just a collector's item. It was a symbol of incredible luck and hidden wealth. School children would eagerly check every penny they got, dreaming of finding the one that could be worth a fortune. This public fascination helped make the 1930 penny the most famous coin in Australian history. The discovery and growing fame of the 1930 penny changed coin collecting in Australia forever. It brought many new people into the hobby, all hoping to find this rare treasure. It also showed that even a common, everyday object could have a secret and valuable history. The story of its discovery is a perfect example of how something can be hidden in plain sight. For years, these coins were used every day without anyone realizing their true worth. It took the sharp eyes and dedication of a few collectors to uncover the secret and turn an accidental coin into a national legend. Identifying a real 1930 Australian penny requires a careful eye because, honestly, many fakes exist. The most important feature, of course, is the date, 1930. It is located just below the bottom scroll on the reverse side of the coin. However, just seeing the date is not enough. Experts look for very specific details on genuine coins. One key marker is on the obverse side, which shows the portrait of King George V. A genuine 1930 penny will have a small dot, or bead, located just above the top scroll and just below the bottom of the crown. This is known as the London die marker, as the master tool was originally made in London. Another important feature is the alignment of the diamonds on the king's crown. A genuine 1930 penny was struck using a die that was also used for pennies in 1931. On these coins, the central diamond on the king's crown band is perfectly aligned with the first pearl on the arch of the crown above it. This specific alignment is a crucial detail that helps experts distinguish a real 1930 penny from many forgeries. Counterfeiters often get these small details wrong, so checking the alignment of the diamonds is a standard step for any serious authenticator. These tiny markers are the coin's secret signature. The reverse side of the coin, with the word penny, also holds clues. The die used to make the 1930 penny had been used before, and it developed some unique flaws. For example, there are often faint marks or imperfections within the letters of penny and Commonwealth. Experts who have studied many examples of the coin know exactly where to look for these tiny, consistent flaws. The shape of the numbers in the date 1930 is also important. The 3 in particular has a distinct, slightly flat top, which is different from the 3 on many fake coins that have been altered from other dates like 1936 or 1938. Finally, the overall look and feel of the coin can be an indicator. A genuine 1930 penny will show signs of wear consistent with its age. Most of the surviving coins were in circulation for years, so they will not look perfectly new. They will have small scratches and a natural patina, which is the color the bronze has turned over time. A coin that looks too new or has strange marks around the date might be a fake. Because telling a real one from a fake can be so difficult, it is always recommended to have a potential 1930 penny examined by a reputable coin dealer or a grading service. In the 1940s, when the 1930 penny was first discovered to be rare, its value was quite modest. A collector might have paid a few shillings for one, which was a lot for a penny but not a fortune. It was seen as a key coin to complete a collection, but its status as a major investment had not yet begun. Through the 1950s, as its fame grew, the price started to climb steadily. By the end of the decade, a 1930 penny in good condition could sell for several pounds. This was a significant amount of money at the time, and it cemented the coin's reputation as a valuable item. The 1960s was the decade when the value of the 1930 penny truly took off. Media attention and public fascination created huge demand. In 1964, a fine quality 1930 penny was sold at auction for £225, a price that shocked many and made newspaper headlines. Just 2 years later, with the change to decimal currency in Australia, another example sold for $1,600. This rapid increase in value was incredible. People who had found one in their change years earlier were now holding an asset worth more than a new car. The penny was no longer just a collector's item, it was a blue-chip investment. Throughout the rest of the 20th century, the price continued its upward trend. By the 1980s and 90s, a good quality 1930 penny was worth tens of thousands of dollars. The very best examples, those that had not been in circulation for long and were in near perfect condition, started fetching even higher prices. The record price for the coin has been broken many times. The quality or grade of the coin makes a huge difference to its value. A worn coin might be worth around $20,000, but a high-grade example can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This shows just how much collectors value coins that are in pristine condition. Today, in 2025, the 1930 penny remains one of the most valuable coins in Australia. Top quality examples have sold for over $1 million at auction, making international news. A particularly special version of the coin, a proof coin made for presentation purposes, sold for $1.15 million in 2019. This really solidifies its status as a world-class collectible. The journey of the 1930 penny's value, from being worth just 1 penny to being worth over $1 million, is a remarkable story. It reflects its rarity, its unique history, and its powerful hold on the imagination of collectors and the public alike. The primary reason the 1930 penny is so valuable is its incredible rarity. With an estimated mintage of only 3,000 coins, it is by far the rarest Australian penny ever produced for circulation. Most other years saw millions of pennies being made. This extreme scarcity means that there are simply not enough coins to go around for all the collectors who want one. Basic economics tells us that when demand is high and supply is very low, the price will be high. The tiny number of 1930 pennies that exist is the foundation of its legendary status and its high market value. Beyond its rarity, the history behind the coin adds to its appeal. The 1930 penny was created during the Great Depression, a defining period in Australian history. The fact that it was made by accident, at a time when the government had ordered no pennies to be produced, gives it a mysterious and compelling backstory. It is a physical reminder of a difficult time for the nation. The coin tells a story of economic hardship, of a possible mistake at the mint, and of a treasure that lay hidden in plain sight for years. This rich narrative makes it much more than just a rare piece of metal. The cultural significance of the 1930 penny cannot be overstated. For generations of Australians, it has been the ultimate symbol of a lucky find. The dream of discovering a 1930 penny in an old jar of coins has captured the public imagination. It is the most famous coin in the country, a household name that even people who are not collectors have heard of. This widespread fame adds to its desirability. Owning a 1930 penny is like owning a piece of Australian folklore. It connects the owner to a shared national story of treasure hunting and incredible luck, which adds an emotional value that goes beyond its price tag. Finally, the 1930 penny is the key date in the Australian penny series. For collectors trying to assemble a complete set of pennies from 1911 to 1964, the 1930 penny is the biggest challenge. A collection is not considered complete without it. This makes it a holy grail for collectors of Australian coins. The drive to complete a set is a powerful motivator for collectors, and it ensures that demand for the 1930 penny will always be strong. Its role as the ultimate hurdle in a popular collecting series locks in its importance and ensures it will remain a highly sought-after coin for many years to come. While all 1930 pennies are rare, some individual coins are more famous than others because of their exceptional quality or unique history. The most special of all are the proof 1930 pennies. Proof coins are not made for circulation. They are struck using specially polished dies and are handled with extreme care to create a perfect, mirror-like finish. They are made as presentation pieces or for archival purposes. For many years, nobody was sure if any proof 1930 pennies even existed. Today, we know of only 6. These are the rarest of the rare, the absolute pinnacle for collectors. One of these proof coins holds the record for the most expensive Australian coin ever sold. One of the most interesting stories involves a 1930 penny that was found in London. In the 1960s, a British coin expert was looking through a large bag of old Australian pennies that had been shipped back to the UK. To his astonishment, he found a 1930 penny among them. This was remarkable because it was found so far from Australia. The coin was in excellent condition, suggesting it had not been in circulation for very long before it was taken out of the country. This London find became a famous example of the coin and shows how these pennies travelled, spreading their story across the globe. Museums also play a role in the story of famous 1930 pennies. Several of the known proof coins are now housed in major public collections, such as the Museum of Victoria and the National Museum of Australia. This ensures that these important pieces of Australian history are preserved for future generations to see. By placing them in museums, these coins are protected from being lost or damaged, and they can be studied by researchers. Having them on public display allows everyone to appreciate their beauty and learn about their fascinating story, reinforcing their status as national treasures rather than just private collectibles. Another famous example is a coin known as the Kangan specimen. It is named after Meyer Kangan, a public servant who was also a passionate coin collector. He managed to acquire one of the finest known proof 1930 pennies. His coin became famous within the collecting community for its superb quality. When it was sold by his family years later, it set a new record price. Stories like this, where a specific coin is tracked and named after its owner, add a personal touch to the history of the 1930 penny. It shows that these are not just objects, but items with a rich provenance and a chain of ownership that adds to their legend. Australia has other rare and valuable coins, but none have captured the public's imagination quite like the 1930 penny. One of the other most famous coins is the 1813 Holy Dollar. This was Australia's first local currency, created by punching the center out of a Spanish silver dollar. Only about 300 holy dollars are known to still exist, making them extremely rare and valuable. While the holy dollar is historically more significant as the first Australian coin, the 1930 penny is more famous. This is because the penny was a coin that ordinary people used every day, making the dream of finding one feel more personal and achievable. Another very rare Australian coin is the 1923 halfpenny. Similar to the 1930 penny, it was produced in a very small quantity, with an estimated mintage of only around 15,000 coins. For serious collectors, the 1923 halfpenny is a major prize and can be very expensive. However, it has never reached the same legendary status as the 1930 penny. The story of the penny's accidental creation during the Great Depression, combined with decades of media attention, has given it a much stronger cultural impact. The 1930 penny has a better story. And in the world of collectibles, a great story adds enormous value. The 1930 penny's uniqueness also comes from its position as the king of a very popular collecting series. Collecting pennies by year, from 1911 to 1964, is one of the most common starting points for Australian coin collectors. This means that almost everyone who collects Australian coins will eventually come face to face with the challenge of the 1930 penny. Other rare coins, like gold sovereigns or early silver coins, belong to series that are less accessible to the average collector. The penny's connection to this popular, relatable series makes it the ultimate goal for a huge number of people. What truly sets the 1930 penny apart is its crossover appeal. It is more than just a coin for collectors, it is a piece of Australian folklore. The holy dollar is for the serious historian, and the 1923 halfpenny is for the advanced collector. But the 1930 penny is for everyone. It represents the idea that treasure can be found anywhere, and that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary of places. This universal theme has made its story timeless. No other Australian coin has this combination of rarity, historical context, and widespread public fame, which is why it stands alone as the undisputed king of Australian coins. The story of the 1930 penny is a powerful reminder of how history and chance can create incredible value. It began as a humble bronze coin, made by accident during one of the toughest times in the nation's history. For years it circulated unnoticed, its special status a complete secret. Its discovery by a handful of sharp-eyed collectors in the 1940s sparked a treasure hunt that has lasted for generations. This journey from a simple mistake to a national icon is what makes the 1930 penny so much more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of hidden potential and unexpected fortune. The legacy of the 1930 penny is also tied to the hobby of coin collecting in Australia. The coin's fame brought thousands of new people to the hobby, all inspired by the dream of finding their own rare treasure. It made people look at their pocket change in a new way, understanding that even the most common objects can have a fascinating story and surprising worth. The constant media attention it receives continues to promote coin collecting and ensures that the history of Australia's currency is not forgotten. It serves as the ultimate ambassador for the world of numismatics in Australia. Of course, with great value comes the danger of fakes. The high price of a 1930 penny has led many forgers to try to create counterfeits. They often do this by altering the date on a more common penny, such as a 1936 or 1938. Experts must use their knowledge of specific die markers, like the dot above the scroll and the alignment of the crown's diamonds, to spot these fakes. The threat of counterfeits makes the role of reputable dealers and grading services more important than ever. They protect collectors and ensure that the market for genuine 1930 pennies remains trustworthy, preserving the legacy of the real coins. In conclusion, the 1930 Australian penny holds a unique and unshakable place in the nation's heart. It is the perfect combination of extreme rarity, a fascinating historical backstory, and widespread cultural fame. No other coin tells such a compelling story of accident, discovery, and incredible luck. It is a tangible link to the Great Depression and a symbol of the Australian spirit of treasure hunting. From its mysterious origins at the Melbourne Mint to its record-breaking sales at auction houses, the 1930 penny is, and will likely always be, Australia's most important and legendary coin.